Hey guys, welcome to Danjer's Amazing Fantasy behind the scenes for part 2. Alright, here we have a little quick look at the cover for Danjer's Amazing Fantasy. Obviously this was based off Amazing Fantasy number 15, and we'll go right back into the story. And the reason I'm doing this is to kind of give some people an idea of how we came up with the whole concept of the book and where it came from. It actually started off as a joke between myself and my friend Tony Gray, local artist, works on the Incredible Conduit, and also an amazing Spidey fan. And what ended up happening was I was over at his studios probably about half a year ago now, and just on the glass table we're joking around, and through his Conduit piece, which is featured throughout throughout newsprint, what we thought about doing, I just asked, can you develop a piece on my son Danjer? Here's the idea. So we did a quick storyboard, not unlike this one that you see right here, and then took that concept forward. All right, so there's the storyboard. I gave him the background, and from the storyboard it developed into this piece here. All right, that was the first sketch, which became this here. I'll just zoom out a little bit. Alright, which then became, and these are just outputs, these aren't prints. I just want to do a quick piece here to show you the black and white, and then the color output. I almost have those on top of each other, as you can see right there. And obviously I gave him some stories, some creative background, and some referencing, and then he just took it and just knocked it out of the park. So great job to Tony on that. But now we're going to look at number 2. All right, and just so you know, this started off, I just wanted to do one strip for my son, and I guess through the process we realized that we can make it into a book. And each story, it could be based on real life and also imagination. The idea is to unlock my son's creativity so that hopefully it inspires him to just be creative, whatever. It doesn't mean he has to become a writer or an inker or whatever. In comics, it could just be unleashing his creativity down the road. It could be in music, it could be in any type of art form, or it could be in just anything, really. All right? But this here, I guess this was set the foundation of developing Danjer's Amazing Fantasy, again, based on real life and imagination. And I thought about most kids when we were growing up. A lot of us wanted to be either a superhero or a sports star, etc. And a lot of those things, actually the foundation of superheroes, actually helping others, a lot of the altruistic benefits of giving back, those are things that help us develop, believe it or not, into becoming leaders of tomorrow. And it sounds really weird how those values can be instilled in us at an early age. But now we're going to get into Danjer's Amazing Fantasy 2. And this here, hopefully that gave you the background from inception to storyboarding to creative. With this one here, I wrote the stories, and actually I'm probably written about several stories now, and I gave them to Tony. And what ends up happening is that you write out the story. I kind of just did it in chicken scratch, and then I type it out and I send it to him, and then I drop some files as reference. We just do it through Dropbox, and then he takes that creative imagination of his, and he comes up with this. All right, so here, this is page 2 of the book. All right, and it will become a full-page book once it's done, featuring real-life stories. And you see there, Spidey swinging in with Danjer. There's the first appearance of my wife Dana. And then here, there's a little bit of a globe because this is the original artwork, and I have it behind some print plastic there. There's Spidey and my son in Danjer. He's helping out, putting up some photos on the wall, which is actually representative of what's happening on in real life. And then we have him going back to real life from imagination. There's my mom first appearance, and that's him. All right, so what we did, again, writing a couple stories, and then from there type it out, send it to creative, and then Tony took that and he went pencils and then inks, and that leads to color. Right, so obviously that was the first process. Then it became this. All right, and that's where you put in the words, hanging boxes, etc., lettering. All right, and finally we're going to look at the final piece. And I just want to preface before we go into that where we left off. So in the first strip, and this will be relayed out to a full page, here we have Danjer, who's in real life, he finds some comic books on the floor. Again, at this age, he's so young he can't speak, but it's implied that he can, you know, he can grasp the concept. And then he finds, of all things on the floor, Amazing Fantasy 15, and he wonders what he could be, right? Then he pictures himself as Spidey. So now, going from reality, he's into his imagination. All right, so now in the imagination, obviously he can do a lot more, like swing with Spidey. So carrying on into that, as you can see here, he's into his imagination, and my wife Dana calls out to him for help. And from there you could see the first thing he says is "Mama," which happens to be the first thing he ever said. And then we have Dana talking about asking him for help, pardon me, to put up some photos in the our son's third room called Danjer Bay. And from there you see him, this is probably my favorite part of this whole piece, helping out right here, put up some photos. And the reason I love it so much is because at heart he loves to help out around the house. And the theme of this whole piece is helping others, but he's making a hot mess, and that's what he does all the time. All right, and from there you can see him helping to put up some photos, as you can see. And actually this is a real life where in Danjer Bay we've put up some photos of some local artists, and I call that Project Wowie, the Wonders of Windsor, Essex, featuring artists from David Finch to Tony Gray. And then from his imagination we hear my mom, his Lola in Filipino, call out, and poof, he's out of imagination into reality. And we see the change in artwork from that here in imagination to now more of a realistic drawing. And then my mom helping giving Danjer a bath. And then at the end, we have Danjer going back to sleep. So that means that in his imagination, we're going to go into the next story. All right. So again, what we have here, the elements, you know, the theme is helping others, helping out around the house. All right. We have the first appearance of Dana, and also the first appearance of my mom. Her name is Dionysia. We have also the a venue called our home of Solidarity Towers, which we're going to reference as the Daily Bugle probably at some point for fun. And also the first thing he says is "Mama." The first time he's standing is also in real life, and then helping out around the house. This is a true story. Alright, and then just my mom giving a bath, him going back to sleep. Alright, so again, that's the whole process. It sets up the next story. I've already written the next several stories. I'm excited to actually get to one of the stories, probably 2 or 3 away, and it's called Parallax. And it's based off just something that came up. I had the idea at work, and it was later combined with something in real life. But again, we're going to see a lot of first appearances of family and friends, a lot of real life stories. We're going to jump in and out of real life into the imagination, all right? And we're going to document my son Ryder, aka Danjer's life, as he grows, so that someday he looks back and he has almost like a form of his life in a comic book, all right? And down the road we'll see what happens. Maybe he becomes an artist, maybe he becomes a musician, pardon me. And that's it, another edition of Danjer's Amazing Fantasy Behind the Scenes for Part 2, and we'll just give you a quick rundown, alright? While on routine patrol, Spider-Man and Danjer are startled by a call to them from Solidarity Towers. "Spider-Man, Danjer, I need your help." "Mama, I'm putting up pictures, and I'm out of nails and hooks. Can you guys come down and help me finish the job?" "Okay, buddy. Do it just like I showed you how to." Slurp. "Whoops, there might be room for one more." Poof. "Danjer, your bath is ready." "Eh?" "Let's get you clean so that we can get you to bed." "Hey buddy, are you ready to head back out and do some more swinging?" That's it, guys. Another edition of Danjer's Amazing Fantasy Part 2.